family, it's your girl Brittany, aka Bria, and welcome to the chat today. We're going to be talking about the pros and cons of a traditional wedding and getting married at the courthouse. I want to share with you guys my personal experience, so keep watching. Okay, so when my husband and I got married 2 years ago, we actually did a courthouse wedding. I remember we met up at the courthouse on my lunch break actually, and within 15 minutes we were married. I think altogether with the paperwork, it cost about $65, and I didn't buy anything special. I didn't hire a photographer. We took pictures ourselves, and then when we got ready to exchange our vows, I asked someone to record it, just record us saying our vows, and so we still have that video, that footage till this day. It was really funny because my husband did not know like the ins and outs of proposing to someone, you know, like planning a proposal, an engagement. Like none of that was on his radar. Like all he knew was that he wanted to like be with me, and that was just kind of the end of the story. So one of the things that he posed was that we could go ahead and get married, and either our third anniversary or our 5th year anniversary we would have a actual ceremony. And I was open to that because we already had a child, and I just felt like at that particular time we didn't need to start off in debt. Like we needed to start off putting our best foot forward, and so it was a conscious decision that we made to do the courthouse wedding. Like I said, it was very inexpensive. It was very convenient, very quick. And before COVID, like you could go like any day of the week. I think now like there's particular days that they have set for you to go and actually do it. At least back home in Mississippi anyway. What else? So the only con that I have to say about doing it that way was I felt like not having a wedding or not planning a wedding, like we did not get the opportunity to have certain conversations that we needed to have post marriage. I feel like going to marriage counseling post marriage is extremely important because you talk about how you want to divide finances, how do you want to divide expenses, how do you plan to raise children, you know, what type of schooling do you want your children to have. Like all of these type of conversations come up in marriage counseling that on your own you may forget to talk about. And I feel like for me personally, I needed that time to plan, and I would have preferred to have that time to just plan a wedding and to actually walk down the aisle, to actually see and mentally prepare myself for the life-changing decision that I was making. I felt like going to sleep single and then waking up, going to the courthouse to get married the next day, and now being married, it was really confusing for me because there was no big event that just made me feel like, okay, I've walked down the aisle and I've been a bride and now I'm married. It was just kind of like, oh, yesterday I was single and today I'm not, you know. Not that I was actually single, but you know, according to my W-2 I was single. So it wasn't like enough that had happened to just give us both a chance to just have some major conversations. But I will tell you that right after we got married, like it got real, and we had those conversations because we didn't have a choice to, because they definitely came up. And then too, I feel like actually taking out the time to plan a wedding, it gives you an opportunity to plan what type of lifestyle it is that you want to have. You know, some people prefer to have their wives home while they work. Some men prefer to be home with the kids while their wife work, you know. You don't know until you have those conversations. So again, I have put together a list of like 10 concrete questions that I feel like anybody who is considering getting married should just talk about and should just ask. Luckily for me and my partner, my husband, when we started off our relationship, we started off very, very deep because we both were tired of games. So we knew what each other's credit scores were. We knew how much each other made before we knew what each other's favorite colors were, or probably before we even knew when each other's birthdays were. Like, we were like, okay, let's go ahead and knock out this serious stuff first before we get to all of this other stuff that don't really matter. I mean, it matters, but on a scale of like trying to raise a family and live with someone and cope and exist and actually be happy to come home, Yeah, you got to talk about those. You got to have those uncomfortable conversations. And in the beginning, I won't lie, a lot of it I was resistant to, because I'm like, this is my business. You don't have to worry about it. But long term, and now I can see looking back how beneficial it was and how important having those open conversations were. If you're in a place where you have the money, you have the time, you have the resources to actually plan a wedding or have your dream wedding, go ahead and do so. Because again, I feel like spending that time preparing to be a bride and actually walking down the aisle, it is something that every girl dreams of. Some men actually dream of it too. So I think that it's very important to just take the opportunity to be selfish and plan it out. But if you're someone or a couple who is looking at things from a financial standpoint, you grasp the concept that it's only one day, you grasp the concept that you guys can maybe plan a lavish wedding in a couple more years if you wait and save, then that is fine as well. So ultimately, it is up to where your joy, where your contentment lies. So I definitely hope that this helps. It would definitely help me if you go ahead right now, don't move while you got time, go ahead and hit the like button, and also go ahead and subscribe to this channel for future updates. And as always, you guys, be good, be blessed, be you.